Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony and welcome to another edition of BNA Sports Talk. So today, I kind of want to talk about a little bit of everything, like I have been in the mood for recently, and that's what I enjoy doing. Sometimes I enjoy editing and making long videos, but recently I've just been on the grind of just talking, making kind of longer videos. In the beginning of BNA Sports Talk, I used to do like 7 to 8 minute videos, but now I'm like doubling that. I don't know why, but because I feel like I have more to talk about. I feel like I'm getting better at this whole talking thing and elaborating with my ideas and stuff. But first of all, I just found this out. Zion Williamson, his name's Zion. That's a reference to Jerusalem. Yeah, that's insane. To talk about like the chosen one, Zion Williamson. That's pretty cool. I thought that was fun. Next, what I really want to talk about is quantity versus quality. Now in life, some people chase quantity. They want a lot of money. They chase cars. They're really materialistic. The more things they have, the more they're worth. Then there's other people that chase quality. Quality as in, I'm going to have quality relationships. I may not have a lot of friends, but the friends that I do have, they're going to mean something to me. I don't care about being known for as the guy to have a lot of friends, but I'm going to have some meaningful relationships. Everything that I do has a purpose. I wake up, I do my work, it has a purpose. They don't do extra math problems. They just make sure the math problems that they do, they're focusing. And, there may be somebody who just does all these math problems, but they're not really thinking about it. They're kind of searching up the answers. They kind of take shortcuts. But then, you need to focus on what exists. So I think you guys get the point of quantity versus quality. If you don't, I think you need help. But, yeah, so why I say this is this really does describe the Lakers and the Pelicans. There are two different types of teams. Teams that try to chase quantity and quality. And there are different points at different teams where they chase certain things. So right now, the Pelicans are chasing quantity. They want a bunch of assets. The more assets that you have, the more likely you are to succeed. Makes sense, right? The more draft picks you get, the more players that you accumulate, that gives you a higher chance to be successful. Now, that doesn't mean 100% of the time you're going to be successful. Sometimes you chase quality. You chase, we're just going to get the best player. We have the money. We have the chance to do it now, and let's do it now. Now, these are two separate philosophies that have to do with sports. You have the teams that, let's chase it all this year. Let's do win or bust. We want to win a championship. That's what the Lakers want. They want to win a championship. And in the back of your mind, you're like, you know what? Let's have a backup plan. We have Anthony Davis. He's hopefully going to be on the team for another 10 years. And, then you have kind of the fallback plan with the guys they might bring now who are going to be 23, 24. You bring in some players like that, and you have somewhat of a backup plan. But you want to go all in. Push your chips to the center. Because sometimes, there are teams that you go, they're going to build a dynasty. The Jets, they're building for a long-term solution. They don't really chase too many free agents. They have a quarterback there, and they're going to go, next 4 out of the next 5 years, we're going to have a 90% chance. We're going to go, 80% in. But there are some teams that go, we're going to go all in this year, 100% all in. We're going to get all these players, and then somebody breaks his leg and it doesn't work. And that has to do with adaptability. Some teams aren't able to adapt. You have the Patriots that are able to adapt, and that's what makes them so great. Then you have other teams that one player goes down, and that's completely it. But that's a different topic. So you have teams that are like, he won the trade. The Odell Beckham Jr., they won the trade. The Browns won the trade. Sometimes it's the number one guy. You get the best guy and he succeeds. That's great, but it's only one guy. It's one of one. He works or he doesn't. But if you get 3 guys that are 70% of what the guy was, you have teams' philosophies that want to go a different way, saying, this guy has an equal chance, they have a less of a chance to succeed, but we want to go in a different direction, kind of like the Giants did. They got Jabril Peppers, O'Shane Ximenez, and Dexter Lawrence just for Odell Beckham Jr. Many people don't see that. They see, they just got Jabril Peppers. No, we got 2 more players. But there always is that risk. There always is that animosity. There's always that unsurety. Ooh, I just stepped in a thumbtack. There's always, that could have been bad, outtake. But there always is that confusion of, we don't know who we're going to get. We don't know whether we're going to get a star. We don't know whether he's going to get injured. We don't know if a guy's going to be available at that point that's going to be great. And that's just a risk sometimes you have to take. And that's what the Pelicans are doing. And the Lakers are like, We can succeed now. We have a plan, LeBron James. We got to go all in or bust. By accumulating more players, you get more chance to succeed. Like, what's a 4 pick? They said it's only 3 guys and everyone else. So the Pelicans were smart. They're like, you know what? Let's trade back. Let's get rid of the contract that we wanted to get rid of. And let's be smart about it. Let's accumulate more picks. And, so we have more chances for these guys to hit and succeed. We may be wrong, and the number 4 pick may be great, but we're going to have more chances to hit that target in the middle. And, we're going to have, even though the darts aren't as good and they may not stick, we have more darts, so one of them may stick. That's just my opinion about the whole thing. That's what the Seahawks did in the NFL draft. They're like, you know what? One player isn't going to make our team, so let's just do it. Let's just trade back. If people are saying who won the trade, the Lakers, or like the Lakers gave up too much to the Pelicans. Well, what was LeBron James and the Lakers' odds to win the championship before they traded for Anthony Davis? Well, the trade didn't go through, but you guys get the point. They were like probably 7th or 8th to win. Then they get Anthony Davis, and they're number 1. That wasn't because that wasn't because Clay went down. That's not because Kevin Durant went down. That's because Anthony Davis really means a lot to this team. He could kind of let LeBron get away with some defensive lack of ability. You can let LeBron take some breaks. And I want to shift to this because I think you guys got my point already. A lot of teams are saying, you know what, abolish the 82-game season. That's it. Today we want things so quick. Like I've been mentioning, we want things so quick. We want success quick. But there are 30 teams in the NBA. Every 30 years your team is expected to win. I know with businesses and stuff like that, you're expected to win, and that's it. The Warriors won 4 out of the last 5. They should have won 4 out of the last 5, maybe 5 of the last 5. So just already that, there are 5 teams that don't win a championship in 30 years. There are already 5 teams that haven't won it, or 4, whatever the math turns out to be. We want things all of a sudden in an 82-game NBA season, and we're like, you know what, that's too long. Well, this is all about attrition. That's what the NBA is about. It's about being able to be healthy, being able to position yourself right away. With March Madness, they have a 32-game season. That's because of school or whatever. I get that. And then all of a sudden, it's just like anybody can win. That's what people want. They want anybody can win. That's great. But the NBA is not about that. It's about the war of attrition. It's about 82-game season. Do you have enough players that it takes to succeed? Now, you could say it hurts the NBA product by not playing some players, and if some players do play, they get injured and things like that. But I'm of the belief that 82 games, that's good enough. That's perfect. You let the other teams, you let the small teams who maybe want it more to win those types of games. Imagine there were, let's say, 60 games. So it means every player plays every game, and then it's the best versus the best all the time. No, sometimes it's the war of attrition. You need to give your players a break. You need to set them up for the playoffs. And that helps the smaller teams win. It helps their players shine that haven't really already. It makes your depth of your bench important. That's why the big 3 doesn't really work anymore, because the 82-game season really wears on some guys. They're lifting all the time. Nowadays, before they used to give the whole vacation off. Nowadays, you're lifting more. You're playing throughout the entire, summer. Everything is like that. The Olympics, different things like that. Beforehand, you used to check out. It used to be your job, 82 games, check in, check out. You used to have certain things. You used to not have to go into training camp already healthy. Now you have to practice all the time because iron sharpens iron. Not really, but the better people get, the more you have to practice. The more the worst players have to practice and get better, and then it's kind of a constant battle to the top. Now we're all about efficiency. You just volume. More people you have to be in the gym 8 hours a day, so that wears on people. So having 82 games, people are going to have to adjust to that as time goes on. The game shouldn't adjust to the people. The people have to adjust to the game. And so that's my opinion about the 82-game season. I think it should stay 82 games. Maybe make the playoffs a little bit, I don't know, like 3 best of 5s in the first 2 rounds or something like that, like they used to do. Or I don't know what you want to do, like something like that. But I know you want to say create more urgency for the NBA. But what is really getting rid of 10 games going to do? Like my proposal with MLB shortening 10 games, that goes along with expanding the playoffs. In the NBA, there are already 16 out of 30 teams that go to the playoffs. So, you have to. The NBA has some own. Every sport has its own problems that they need to solve. An 82-game season is, one of them. Are they gonna have to switch it? I don't think they should, because it's about the war of attrition. As much as you want to say athletes are doing more things, I may be completely wrong. Adam Silver. I was watching too much hockey. Adam Silver may want to change this. He may want to get on the good side. Sometimes the commissioner, Adam Silver, he tries to get on the good sides of everybody too much. You don't want to always cave into what the players want. As far as the NCAA thing, I don't really care. I think the NCAA should work more with the NBA, just in my opinion. So players, there are only 60 players that get drafted. So what are the odds that you get drafted? 60 players out of, let's say, I don't know, D1. There are a couple hundred D1 schools with 15 players per team. So let's say there are 300. So that's 4,500 teams. So that's already about 1% of the people getting drafted. Just the quick math off the top of my head. And then the hundreds of thousands of players that play basketball in high school. So you're telling me, you have to give these guys a backup plan. You have to, some players just I'm going to play basketball. And then they get an injury and all of a sudden it's just basketball is all I knew for my entire life. As much as you want to say that we want the guy to be on the court all the time, you have to give these guys a backup plan. Let them go back into college. Give them a situation where they can get their degree and expand some lower level basketball, and work with the NCAA. Don't work against them. That's just my opinion about the NCAA rules. I don't think they're stealing money from players and things like that, because they're going to get paid very soon. And if they're good enough, they should make their own money. They shouldn't. They're going to the point of college is college. If you don't want to go to college, play basketball in Australia, which is what people are doing now. If you don't want to go to the college, wait a year. That's just what it is. The NBA should stress schooling, because we don't want to develop into a society where it's just you give kids you want kids to have dreams and stuff, but you can't let the kids just be oblivious and be I'm going to play the NBA, and then work hard. And sometimes all this hard work or whatever, the more work you put in doesn't necessarily mean the more you get out. It just increases the likelihood. The same thing going back to all these players and getting volume. You could say a team won the trade on paper at first because, there's a higher likelihood that the transaction is going to work out. That's all we measure. We just measure the likelihood of the team winning the trade. The Celtics make transaction after transaction, but sometimes the culmination of those transactions don't work out, or one thing happens, Gordon Hayward goes down, and a guy breaks an ankle, the team camaraderie doesn't work, and things go all haywire. So last thing I want to mention is the NBA has some timing things wrong. They have the draft, but then that's before free agency, so you have some players with hats at teams that they're not going to. The Lakers are selecting on behalf of the Pelicans, and the Pelicans traded to the Hawks, and then you have the MVP award kind of given out after the season, so it's kind of a dud. The NFL kind of has it a little bit better figured out, but I'd rather than not have the MVP awards the night before the Super Bowl, because he kind of jinxed Matt Ryan and Cam Newton 2 years in a row, and I think they also jinxed Tom Brady. So, if Patrick Mahomes would have made it, they probably would have lost too. But, yeah, so the NBA has some things to get figured out, and how I would do it is you have the MVP awards at the end of the season, at the end of the regular season, because it's a regular season award. They've stated it's a regular season award, so why not give it to them at that time? And then you give the NBA Finals MVP. They should just make it into the NBA playoffs MVP, honestly, kind of like what the NHL does, and that usually is the best player on the best team that wins that wins the whole thing. And you may have a little story Matthew Dellavedova, he played really well in the finals and he really carried them. But usually I think it should be a whole NBA playoffs award, and give that out at the end of the finals, and then you kind of have all the teams that you get the award, and it's a regular season award, and you can just be what, I'm not gonna be thinking about that whether I'm going to be MVP. You know it already, the comeback player of the year, everything, the coach of the year. It's a regular season award. They say it's a regular season award, so give it after the regular season. Don't give it after the entire thing. Why not have it start directly after the final? Why do we have to wait? I really don't get it. Why not have some free agency stuff right after? I get it, if you want to do free agency, then the playoff teams the playoff teams can't be in it, because then if you trade a player and the guy knows he's going to be traded, does he really fight hard for the team? You can't have it during the NBA Finals. I get it. But the thing is, the NBA Finals end so late. Let's push it. Let's move things forward. Do we really have to wait until late October for the NBA to start? Do we really have to wait that long? What is it? We don't have to wait for the NFL to start continuing, and then I think they do it because the NFL kicks off in early September, so they wait a couple months, and people get a little sick or tired of the NFL, and then they're like, oh yeah, the NBA season starts. Let's start it at the beginning of October like the NHL does it, and have them finish a little bit for the NHL, so all these things aren't back to back. The NHL has their own time to shine. The NBA has their own time to shine. Free agency starts like June 1st instead of July 1st. And then you have your regular season MVPs and all that before the playoffs. And then we can spend more time hyping up these players for the draft, free agency, different things like that. I think that'll work, because now if you think about the timing for all these free agents and things like that, you have 2 months. It's really quick. If you had a little bit longer of a period, if you really want to make free agency a thing, July 1st. And then it kind of feels like the NFL is just about to start. This is the dead period, almost right before minicamp. So start it a little bit before, and have more people talking about you for a longer period of time. I think that's the way to do it. Yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like rating while down there. Please comment, favorite, and subscribe if you haven't already. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.